Okay, guten Tag, meine Damen und Herren. Wir freuen uns, dass Sie da sind. Ich möchte John Almond, European Business Director von Alexium International, herzlich begrüßen. John, I'd like you to welcome you today to our web conference.
Thank you.
Was macht Alexium? Alexium ist ein internationales Unternehmen, das an der australischen Börse und der Börse Frankfurt gelistet ist. Alexium hält die weltweiten Exklusivrechte an der reaktiven Oberflächenbehandlung, RST. Die RST-Technologie wurde in den Labors der US-Regierung entwickelt. Bei den Prozessen, die die Oberflächenbeschaffenheit verändern, verbraucht Alexium niedrige Temperaturen, ist also eine sogenannte grüne Nanotechnologie. Ich werde John gleich ein paar Fragen stellen und seine Antworten für Sie hoffentlich gut übersetzen können. Falls es Fragen zwischendurch gibt, wie immer bitte das Chatfenster nutzen. Die Fragen kann ich oder Helmut dann stellen. Nur im Voraus, Alexium ist ein Kunde von uns, also wir machen die IR-Arbeit für die Firma. Für die Übersetzung können wir keine Haftung übernehmen, es gilt das gesprochene Wort von John. Also, welche Stoffe kann Alexium behandeln erstmal, John? What materials can be treated?
Yes, hi Kim, thank you. Well, due to the heritage of our technology, we've basically focused on textiles. There is a full presentation that I hope the people who are attending this video conference can have access to, which gives more details about what we're doing. But our original heritage of the technology was on textiles, which was what the military were using this technology for originally. And we've focused now even more on textiles, mainly on the areas such as synthetic fibers. These include nylons, aramids, polyester, polyamides, and polyethylenes. This is the fastest growing area of the textile market, and where our technology is unique in the way that it can change the performance of these materials. And we actually use our technology to put coatings on these fibers to give them even new and even more exciting properties than they have at the moment.
Okay, also nur kurz zusammengefasst, aufgrund des Ursprungs der Technologie liegt das Hauptaugenmerk auf der Behandlung von Textilien, insbesondere solchen, die schwer oder gar nicht zu behandeln sind. Das sind im Allgemeinen moderne synthetische Textilfasern. Diese Fasern sind oft träge und das Aufbringen einer Beschichtung kann eine Herausforderung sein. Die Alexium-Technologie macht es möglich, jede Phase einzeln zu behandeln und mit einer besonderen Beschichtung zu präparieren. So entstehen einzigartige, dauerhafte Funktionsbeschichtungen. Wie lange wirkt die Behandlung jetzt? Also, how long does the treatment stay on a garment, John?
Well, it's each coating that we do for each specific application, and each textile fiber has its own characteristics. And there is some variance. I can say generally the coatings that we produce are very, very tough coatings. We've actually subjected several of the coatings that we've made. We've actually had them extensive washing. We've even boiled the textiles in boiling water, and we've subjected them to significant abrasion without any degradation. It does vary. Some of the functions we attach themselves are very delicate, and obviously if we're attaching a very delicate function, that's going to limit the durability of the performance.
Okay, also da jede Beschichtung maßgeschneidert ist, hängt ihre jeweilige Haltbarkeit vom behandelten Material und den gewünschten Funktionen ab. Dadurch ergeben sich Unterschiede, natürlich. Grundsätzlich bilden sich nicht ablösbare Beschichtungen, die an den einzelnen Fasern haften und einen sogenannten Shrink-Wrap-Effekt auslösen. Die Bindungen innerhalb der Beschichtung sind extrem stark. Alexium hat mehrere Beschichtungen den Standard-Industrietests unterzogen, wie John gesagt hat, Waschen, Kochen und Abnutzung. Wo liegen die potenziellen Anwendungen für diese Technologie? What are the potential applications for this technology then, John?
Well, those who've listened to our presentation before will be aware that in fact there's many different applications that we can apply with the technology, and we've decided to actually focus on one initial application. Do you have the video there, Kim? I could probably show it.
Yeah, 1 second. Oh, sorry.
I have it here, I think. Let me show it to you. I've got it here.
Okay, well done.
Okay. This is what we've done, which the first application that we've done commercially. And what we've done here is to provide a flame retardant coating that goes onto a nylon fabric. This is a video of the nylon burning. This is standard nylon where we put our coating on. And when you apply the flame, you can see that nylon, when you take the flame away, the flame goes out immediately and the fabric stops burning. Nylon is millions and millions of yards of this, of meters of this are used every year for various applications because it's so strong and durable, lightweight. But the problem with nylon, single biggest problem with it, is it doesn't perform currently very well in a fire. By doing this, we stop it from burning. It no longer melts, it no longer drips, and most importantly, when we treat the fabric, it retains all of its normal properties. The fabric remains breathable, it doesn't change its drape or feel of the material, and this therefore expands the potential applications for the use of nylon, particularly nowadays where there is significant new legislation that limits the use of various materials in airplanes, cars, schools, hotels, hospitals. It limits these materials to ones which are flame retardant, and up until now nylon has not been able to be used extensively because of this poor performance in fire. There's millions of meters of this used per annum, and this is only one the first of several applications that we are going to be doing on the flame retardancy side. And then once again, it just shows the wide range of applications that are available for our technology.
Okay, also das ist
Can I
schon...
ask you a
Ja,
question?
Entschuldigung, Helmut, ja. Ja, mach mal.
Are there some competitors to your technology?
There's lots of ways of putting a coating on, but if you're asking me specifically, there's nobody else can do this on a piece of nylon that we can do. You can put a back coating onto a nylon, but that doesn't stop it burning. It still melts and it still drips. And more importantly, if you put a back coating onto a nylon fabric, it's no longer fabric. It loses its breathability, and it loses its hand and its feel, and therefore you can't use it in the way it was originally intended. Our technology, as far as we're aware, is the only technology out there at the moment that can give this type of performance to nylon without changing its characteristics.
And when I continue to put the flame on your coated nylon, it's not melting.
No.
Or the okay.
No, if you see, I'll use. Hopefully, this pointer will work. I don't know whether this pointer is working or not, but if you see there, we actually, when we apply the flame, our coating reacts with the polymer, and we actually produce like a carbon thermal layer. We don't put, so if you're wearing this fabric, you don't burn a hole in the fiber. The flame doesn't come through to you. It actually forms this carbon layer. And retains the integrity and stability of the fabric. We don't get any holes forming, which is a critical importance in terms of fire protection. Not only does it not burn, it also prevents the flame actually passing through the material onto your skin. So currently the only material that we're aware of that can do this type of performance is an aramid, something like branded like Nomex, the racing driver suits are made out of. But those are somewhere in the region of between 15 and 20 times more expensive than our treatment.
Ah, okay. Okay. So your technology is for the mass market. So
well, we've got commercial discussions going on with people who use a lot of nylon at the moment. And I think it's true to say, Helmut, every day they come up with another application. So we don't know the extent of the demand for this yet, because quite frankly, up until now, it's never existed. So they're looking to substitute this for more expensive fibers. and also looking to use nylon for applications where currently it can't be used because it doesn't have the fire performance characteristics.
Mm-hmm. So you are talking to different companies for using your coating?
Yeah, our typical customer, we're not just talking about clothing, apparel here, we're talking about technical textiles which are used in aviation, car industry, composites, a whole wide range of technical textiles where more and more of textiles are used now instead of traditional materials such as metals because of their strength and their low weight.
Okay.
And so our technology is very timely because some of these materials that they want to use have fantastic characteristics, but like nylon, quite often they have one missing characteristic that they don't have inherently, and we are there to put these other characteristics onto the fiber.
Okay. Kim.
Ja, soll ich weitermachen? Wolltest du irgendwas übersetzen, Helmut? Nein? Okay.
Nein, du bist die bessere Übersetzerin von uns.
Naja, das weiß ich nicht. Aber wir machen mal weiter.
Du kannst ja Hochdeutsch sprechen und ich muss mir immer so bemühen, dass ich Hochdeutsch spreche.
Ach was. Wir verstehen dich alle gut. Also, es geht weiter. Jetzt wollte ich über die Break-Even fragen. Ich glaube, das interessiert auch die Zuhörer, wann der Break-Even erreicht wird. What about when Alexium will reach break-even, John?
Good question. We've got cash in the bank at the moment. Not a colossal amount, but certainly enough, we believe, to take us forward for what we're doing commercially with our partners at the moment. Our model is one of licensing our technology to a partner, and in return they would buy our equipment and pay us a licensing fee for every square meter of fiber or fabric that they treat. And as you probably can understand from what we've been discussing in my response to Helmut, some of these applications represent millions of square meters, tens of millions of square meters every year. So we don't need many applications for us to break even and start making money. We have a very low expense base for a company of our size. We've kept all of our expenses extremely low, and we'd expect really most of our expenses to be covered by our first commercial agreement. And obviously, once we've done that, any other future agreements would fall on the bottom line.
Okay.
We're a little bit later than we expected with it, but I'm pleased with the way that commercial progress is going at the moment.
Okay. Also, es ist abhängig davon, wie schnell Alexium gemeinsam mit ihren Partnern die Technologie in den Markt einführen kann. Das Geschäftsmodell von Alexium ist lizenzbasiert. Das heißt, Alexium bringt die Technologie direkt in die Produktion des Kunden ein und dies gegen eine Gebühr halt. Für ein Technologieunternehmen hat Alexium sehr wenige Ausgaben. Sie erwarten, dass diese durch die ersten bedeutenden kommerziellen Vereinbarungen abgedeckt werden. Sie hatten ursprünglich geplant oder beziehungsweise gehofft, diese Vereinbarung ein bisschen vielleicht eher als jetzt, aber die sind jetzt sehr mutig auf die Zukunft, sage ich mal. Sind ein bisschen spät dran, aber die sind, Helmut.
It always needs more time than expected, is that right?
Absolutely. Unfortunately.
In technology companies, I know this very well from other companies. The future is shining bright, but it always needs more time than all the parties are expecting.
Yeah.
But how do you bring the coating on the textiles? Do you spray it on it, or what's the miracle behind?
Well, there's a good question, Helmut. There's two aspects to our technology. One is the fact that we use a microwave to cure it onto the surface of the material rather than heat. So it allows us to do some very rapid polymerization, the fixing of our coatings onto the surface of the fabric. So that's one aspect of our intellectual property. But the main aspect is that, what we've been doing, this chemistry that we've developed for this application is unique. We've developed all the chemistry. It is environmentally friendly. It has no hazardous materials, no brominated compounds, no halogens, all of the normal components which are used currently by the flame retardant industry, which are being phased out because of environmental concerns. We don't have any of those in our technology. So, but the way we apply it, to answer your question, it's applied in a traditional way that any textile company would apply a coating. The difference really is that they would use our microwave to do the curing rather than putting it in an oven.
So it's not expensive to bring it out, and it's not you need not much time to bring it on the textiles. It's you can integrate it in the industrial cycle.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a full-size working facility now in the United States, and when we treat the textiles, it runs from a reel-to-reel process on a continuous run, just like any other textile process. So one of the advantages of the technology is that if we show it to a textile engineer, he immediately understands how we do it. There's nothing dramatically different required. He has most of the equipment already in the facility, in his own facility.
Okay. I think, John, we've covered quite a lot of the questions, to be honest. Ich glaube, wir haben ziemlich viel jetzt abgedeckt, durch Helmuts Fragen auch. Ich würde sagen, eine letzte Frage vielleicht, about the growth rates, John. Welche Wachstumsraten erwarten Sie für Alexium's business in den kommenden Jahren? So what growth rate do you expect for Alexium in the coming years, John?
This is extremely difficult to say, and I'm not trying to dodge the question, but this, for an example, the flame retardant nylon market is extremely difficult to understand the potential just for that one single application. But we're also developing 3 or 4 other applications. And as quickly as we can get those established in the marketplace, as quickly as we can get a customer to be engaged as our commercial partner, the faster that we can roll these applications out. So potentially it's explosive. I would say potentially it's explosive growth because our capital requirements are minimal. And what we've done with this nylon is that we've actually, for the first time, validated to the market how our technology is different from anything out there at the moment.
Okay.
From my point of view, I think if one big customer will use your technology, all the others will follow.
Absolutely. The challenge that we have is to make sure that if one company does take it, that they in fact maximize the capabilities of the technology and not limit its use. So that's the game that we're playing at the moment with 1 or 2 partners, is trying to give them the commercial advantages that they're looking for in terms of exclusivity, but in return we want to make sure that we're going to get the revenues that our investors are expecting from the use of our technology.
One last question. The coating does not affect the flexibility of the material. It's
correct.
Like original nylon, let's say.
Yeah, our coatings actually for the flame retardant. It's slightly heavier. You can tell the difference in feel, okay, for the material for that specific application. Most of the applications you can't tell because they are nanoscopic. They're very, very thin coatings. For the flame retardancy, they have to be a little bit thicker to put the fire out, but they are certainly they're not. We've had no objections from anybody that we've spoken to about the change of the feel of the fabric. So there's a change, but it's not significant enough for anybody to say this makes it unacceptable. It's certainly acceptable for all the applications that we're looking at.
What all the investors are looking for is, are you expecting big news in your company in a foreseeable time?
Look, I think, obviously I've got constraints, as you know, in terms of reporting procedures. I think we're showing to investors what we've been doing with their money. We are very confident that we have a technology that now works. We've dealt with all of the issues that you have in introducing a new technology, the technology aspects, and we've got commercial traction with several partners. Now, the question is, can we do a deal with them? And I'm optimistic that we can. But you never know, Helmut. What can happen? Companies can change policies, change management. But I'm comfortable with the progress that we've made over the past few months commercially. And at the moment, as you can imagine, before any technology any company is going to commit to a technology, they require exhaustive testing, and we've been completing that over the past few months. And I've not seen anything in those tests that makes me unhappy about the performance and the future commercial prospects.
So a few potential customers are still in the testing range of the material.
Well, it never stops. I mean, even once we sign an agreement with people, because they will want variations of the coatings for different applications. Mm-hmm. What we've been doing with the testing that we've done at the moment is that we've had to make sure that it works on their materials, that it meets the performance specifications from the regulations perspective, fire retardant regulations, mm-hmm. also meets their compliance with regards to the environment, and we've hit those. So I think we've reached that point now where there are concerns about the technology. I think we've met most of those concerns as far as I'm aware anyway.
Okay, Kim, möchtest du eine kurze Zusammenfassung geben von den letzten Sätzen vom John?
Helmut, du kannst das gerne machen.
Ja, also ich finde es einfach sehr interessant. Einige Unternehmen sind in der Testphase und er ist eigentlich mit allen Ergebnissen sehr zufrieden, die ganzen Tests eigentlich da gebracht haben, und es gibt eigentlich, also die Firmen verlangen natürlich noch verschiedene Variationen, speziell auf ihre Bedürfnisse zugeschnitten. Also I've had a stop on your website, John, and I think it's very interesting. You can see the different applications and I recommend to have a stop for all the audience to have a stop on www.alexiuminternational.com too, because I think it's a very interesting stuff.
Okay. Ja, dann bedanke ich mich, Helmut und John. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Helmut.
Falls es noch Fragen gibt, dann per Chatfenster wie immer. Ansonsten, wie Helmut sagte, unter Alexiums Webseite nachschauen, oder Sie können uns erreichen natürlich, wenn es Fragen gibt, noch weitere Fragen oder weitere Informationen, die Sie haben möchten. Überhaupt kein Problem. Ja, dann gebe ich weiter an Helmut.
Schauen wir zuerst noch, Kim, vielleicht gibt es noch ein paar Fragen zu Alexium direkt.
Ja, okay.
Moment, da gibt es ja so Kommentare einschalten. Wo ist denn das jetzt geschwind wieder? Da gibt es das kleine links. Ich finde es nicht.
Nee, das nicht.
Tada. Nachrichten einschalten, so. Okay. Gut. Alle, die jetzt noch kurz ein paar Fragen an Alexium haben, können Sie jetzt diese stellen. Das Chatfenster machen wir einfach wieder zu. Genau. So. John, I think we have answered all questions. And yes.
Okay. Good.
Okay.
I wish you all the best luck for your company. And
thank you.
Grab the big companies for huge revenue and big shareholder value.
Well, I'm a major shareholder in the company, so obviously that's my intention.
That's always the best. Oops.
Okay, thank you very much indeed, Helmut.
Okay.
Thanks for this opportunity
Bye.
today, and thank you, Kim, for your translation. Thank you.
No problem. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.